The thing that we're wanting you to begin to feel is your game.
Yes.
It's the game. This is the game. Universe, I'm playing this game, and I'm good at games, and I'm joyful at games, and I know you want to play with me. And as you start optimistically looking for the way that it's coming, all kinds of things begin to happen suddenly. And don't let this worry you, because it will feel really good when it happens. The impulse to play the game becomes stronger than the impulse to buy one more thing to fill the void. And so the game becomes so empowered by the universal forces that assist you. And before you know it, you get this rhythm rolling. And before you know it, you will say, we've heard it from everyone who has played this game. Everyone who has played this game has received strong financial improvement. And more than half have become debt-free within months. The universe has hundreds of avenues lined up for you that most of you are vibrationally blind to because you're worried about money. So as you get freer about money, you're in a place where you rendezvous with more, you see more. The coupon that came, or the parking meter that already had money in it, or the money you found in a place you didn't know, or the bonus that someone gave you, or the reward that you earn, or the impulse even to buy a lottery ticket and the payoff from it. In other words, all kinds of impulses and inclinations begin coming. The telephone rings, you inherit something that you didn't know about. You get increased pay, there's something added to your paycheck that you were not expecting. But you have to start. In other words, it's in and out, 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 in and out. You have to feel the rhythm of it. And what happens with so many is you get out of balance, and then you worry about the out, the out, the out. And when you start feeling shortage to the point that you're feeling negative when you spend money, that's the beginning of the end. When you feel guilty or negative or belligerent or angry or frustrated or lackful as you are spending the money, amplifying the way you feel with the action, it's a spiral that just holds you and binds you. So you want to joyously spend your money. Don't spend it unless you can spend it joyfully, and spend it joyfully. The universe is not saying to you, that's the last dollar you're ever going to spend. The universe says, there's plenty more where that came from. There's plenty more where that came from. Just like oxygen, just like food. You don't say, I'm going to breathe all of the air the first hour this morning in case there might not be enough for tomorrow. You say in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. There's plenty of money. You've just got to amplify the feeling of plenty and diminish the feeling of shortage, you see. And we know many of you have been playing the records. Esther would say, especially when Jerry and Esther first came together, that as she was growing up, her mother worried about money every day of Esther's life and every day of her own life. In other words, her mother never stopped talking about not enough money, ever. She never stopped talking about there not being enough money. It was as common to her as breathing. They would go to the grocery store, she would write the check, and while she was writing the check, she would be shaking her head. This is costing way too much money. This is costing way too much money. This is costing way too much money. She would have a look on her face, and Esther would say, what's the matter? And her mother would say, I'm worried about money. I'm worried about money. And it may be because she was trying to get everyone else to be more responsible. But she never realized that as she worried about money, she disallowed money, you see. You cannot feel worry or anger or frustration while a subject is activated within you without, in the middle of that activation, be resisting the very thing that is the subject. You got to feel fun about money. You got to feel fun about money. You see, it doesn't matter. It's the way you feel. So there are people who have a lot of money who spend a lot of money. A lot in, a lot out. A lot in, a lot out. A lot in, a lot out. Well, there's a balance in that. There are some who don't have much, in and out, in and out, in and out. It's the way you feel. It's not the degree or the amount of money that's flowing. It's the way you feel about the money that's flowing. And so that's why you could be a bargain hunter and be in perfect balance with well-being, because the bargains are so satisfying to you, and as you find a bargain, it feels just right. You're in alignment. In other words, you could be a spendthrift and be in perfect alignment with well-being. There's no right or wrong in the amount you spend or in the action of the spending or not spending. It's the way you feel. There are those who don't spend because of their feeling of shortage and they shut it down. There are those that spend from their feeling of frustration and they shut it down. It's whatever you're doing, and to whatever degree you're spending, you must do it with joy. In other words, you must have no reservation. When you write that great big tip on the sheet at the restaurant, mean it. In other words, write it and mean it and give it in joy, or don't do it. It is the joy that you feel in the spending that is the indicator of the abundance, you see. And so, how do dollars feel to you? I love dollars. How do I feel about dollars? I love what dollars can do. How do I feel about dollars? Dollars are irrelevant. They are not very important to my life experience. My joy is what is most important. It does not matter. There's no right or wrong in it, but one thing is sure. You cannot feel bad about money and have money.